Hey gang, and welcome back. These videos are brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your unused collection fast and easily. 401 Games, Canada's top shop for all your hobby and TCG needs. Dragon Shield, the strongest sleeves for your strongest decks. Moxfield, the easiest way to store and share your deck lists. And Foil Armor, flatten your foils fast. Matt wins the die roll and starts us off. He draws, playing a mountain for his land per turn, and taps it for a Soul Ring. He then taps the Soul Ring for Idol of Oblivion. Max has got a Rafine's Tower, which comes in tapped and passes. Arja's turn has him playing a Dismal Backwater, gaining 1 as it comes in tapped. Sammy also plays a tap land with a Xander's Lounge and ships it to Matt. Metsu's turn has him drawing and playing a tapped Adaiga. Max has got a Plains and pays 2 for Azorius Signet. Arja plays a River of Tears, and then pays 2 for Talisman of Dominance. Sammy draws and plays Command Tower, and pays a red and a colorless for Shadow of the Goblin. He ships it after it resolves. Mathieu's got a tap Myriad Landscape, and pays 1 for a Ghost Vacuum. He then plays out Mog Moogle Warrior, and he moves to his end step. Each player chooses to discard, and Mathieu sees a non-creature and a creature hitting the yard. This gets him a Moogle token, and he gets to put a +1/+1 counter onto each Moogle. He then activates the Idol of Oblivion, and draws, and passes. Max draws for turn, playing a Swamp, and casts Jin. He ships it after that, with Arja flashing in Spectral Sailor. Arja plays Nephalia Drownyard, and casts Malcolm. He then swings the Sailor at Mathieu, who takes the hit for 1, and Arja makes a treasure. Arja cashes in the treasure to help cast Francisco, and passes. Sammy draws, and then discards a Swamp to Shadow the Goblin, drawing again. He plays an untapped Steam Vents, taking 2, and casts Toxic Deluge, paying 4 life into it to wipe the board. After that, Sammy passes, and during the end step, Mathieu activates his Ghost Vacuum to exile Archon of Coronation from Max's graveyard. Matt's got a Rugged Prairie, and he's cast Stiltskin, and then recasts Mog. Mathieu then goes to his end step, and everyone but Sammy discards, with Mathieu getting a Moogle again, and adding a counter to his team. He also activates the Idol again to draw a card, and passes. Max has got a Polluted Delta, and cracks it to find an island. He then casts Rilsa Rail, getting the initiative, and going to find a basic. Arja's main phase has a Grasping Scoundrel coming in, and he casts Lethal Scheme, removing Mog. Arja then discards a Kitesail Freebooter to the Connive trigger, and he plays a Choked Estuary tapped, and just passes after that. Sammy draws, and then discards to the Shadow of the Goblin trigger, drawing from it, and then for turn. He then casts a Treasure Nabber, and passes. During the end step, Mathieu exiles the Kitesail Freebooter with his Ghost Vacuum. Matt's land for turn is Abstergo Entertainment, and he recasts Mog yet again. Because he tapped his Soul Ring, Sammy's able to steal it with a Treasure Nabber. He then swings both of his Moogles at Max, and Max blocks Stiltskin with Relsa and takes the 2. This has Mathieu getting the initiative and gaining some life, and he goes to find a basic to put to hand. Moving to his end step, only Max and Matt discard, which has him only getting a +1/+1 counter onto his Moogles. He passes after that. Max has got a Swamp, and casts an Orzhov Signet this time. He then plays Sword of Hearth and Home, losing both of his Signets because he tapped them to the Treasure Nabber trigger, and equips them to Rilsa, and swings her at Mathieu. Matt takes the hit, and Max gets the initiative back, and flickers Rilsa to gain the initiative again, and he goes to grab a land to put into play from the sword. With the 2 initiative triggers, Max chooses to scry 2, and then get a treasure token. He passes after that. Arja draws and recasts Malcolm in his main phase, giving Sammy the talisman as he tapped it for mana. He then swings the Grasping Scoundrel at Sammy, who takes the hit for 3, and Arja makes a treasure token. Arja then uses the treasure token to cast Thought Scour, picking Sammy to mill and draws a card. He ships it after that. Sammy draws, and then rummages to the Shadow of the Goblin trigger. He casts Call Forth the Tempest, which hits Ensnared by Mara. Everyone chooses to take the damage off of it, and the second cascade then hits Descent into Avernus. Each opposing creature then takes a total of 7, and the Shadow of the Goblin pings twice. Sammy then swings the Treasure Nabber at Max to take the initiative. He goes to find a swamp, which he plays and passes. During the end step, Mathieu uses his Ghost Vacuum to exile Rilsa Rail. Matt just draws, plays an Exotic Orchard, and casts Solemn Simulacrum. Again, because he used his Soul Ring, he has to give it to Sammy because of the Treasure Nabber. He goes to find a basic, and follows it up with the Restoration of a Ganjo, going to find a Plains to hand, and passing. Max's turn has him playing a Fetid Heath, and recasting his commander Jin again. He then casts Gaunty, Knight Minister, and passes. Arja's turn has him playing Dire Fleet Ravager, and he hits everyone for a third of their life as he comes in. He ships it after that. Sammy's Descent into Avernus takes up, and everyone gets 2 treasures and takes 2. He then scries with the Undercity as he moves forward with it, and then draws and rummages with Shadow of the Goblin's trigger. Sammy then continues by casting Grima, Sauron's Footman, and he then casts Outrageous Robbery on Max, putting 5 into the X. After that, Sammy plays a Creeping Tar Pit from the exiled cards, which gets him a ping with the Shadow of the Goblin trigger. He then passes, and during the end step, Mathieu activates the idol since he made a treasure token to draw, and activates his Ghost Vacuum to exile a creature from a graveyard. Matt draws, and discards a Plains to the Restoration of a Ganjo to get back Stiltskin. He then plays a Castle Embereth, and recasts Mog. Moving to his end step, Matt, Arja, and Max discard a card, which nets Mathieu a Moogle and a counter onto all of his Moogles. Max draws and equips a Sword of Hearth and Home onto Jin, and swings Jin at Sammy and Gaunty at Max, making them unblockable with Jin's trigger. They each take the hit, and Max regains the initiative. He then goes to find a land with the Sword of Hearth and Home, and exiles Sammy's and Mathieu's top cards with Gaunty. After combat, Max then casts Tomb of Horrors Adventurer and finishes the Undercity. He gets to reveal and put to field a Dazzling Sphinx off the trigger. Max then casts a Magmakin Artillerist from exile, and since he has the Tomb of Horrors Adventurer having seen a dungeon being completed, gets to make 2 extra copies of it. Max then continues by casting a Soul Ring, better late than never, and passes turn. Arja's got an island, and he casts Massacre Worm. It takes out a creature from each opponent, dealing 2 to them, and Arja then swings the Direfleet Ravager at Max. Max takes the hit, with Arja gaining the initiative and going to find a basic. He passes while searching. Descent into Avernus takes up to 4, dealing 4 and giving everyone 4 treasures, and Sammy then draws for turn. He then rummages to the Shadow of the Goblin trigger, and he then plays a Plains from exile. He continues his turn with Don Andres, and then swings Grima at Max. Max takes the hit, and Grima exiles Deadly Rollick off the top. Sammy then casts the Rollick to exile the Tomb of Horrors Adventurer, and Sammy then casts Nathan Drake, pinging everyone for another 1. He then casts Thief of Sanity from Outrageous Robberies, pinging again to take out Max. After that, Sammy passes, with Mathieu using his Ghost Vacuum again. Mathieu draws and in his main phase puts the final lore counter on the Restoration of a Ganjo, which has it flipping. He then plays a Radiant Summit, and he casts Shared and Arja blocks Mog. Before damage, Mathieu activates Castle Embrith to pump his team, taking out Arja, but Mog unfortunately still gets taken out, and Mathieu gains a total of 10. After combat, Matt casts an Exalted Sunborn, and then an Enduring Innocence. He ships it after that. Descent deals 6 to each player and makes 6 treasures, and Sammy then draws for turn. He then rummages to the Shadow of the Goblin trigger, and he then casts the Beast, Deathless Prince, and steals the Exalted Sunborn. Sammy then continues by casting his own Gonti Night Minister, and then his own Deadly Rollick, exiling the Enduring Innocence. Sammy then swings everything at Matt, and Nathan exiles the Thief of Sanity off of Sammy's top, which he casts. Before blocks, Mathieu sacrifices his Idol of Oblivion to make a 10-10, and uses it to block Don Andres, and uses the Architect of Restoration to block Nathan. Sammy then exiles the top card of Mathieu's library thanks to Gonti, and hits a Dusk to Dawn off Grima. He pings Mathieu for 1 with it, and takes the initiative, making a treasure as he moves into the room. Sammy then casts Feed the Swarm on the Moogle token, taking it out. He then plays a Drowned Catacomb, and passes. During the end step, Mathieu exiles an Exalted Sunborn with the Ghost Vacuum. Matt draws and plays Command Tower, and then swings out at Sammy. Sammy blocks Stiltskin with the Thief of Sanity, and Mathieu activates Castle Embrith before damage. This pumps his creatures, and Matt takes the initiative and makes a treasure token. He then recasts Mog, and then follows up with a Monument of Endurance. Going to his end step, Mathieu discards a land off of Mog, dealing 3 to Sammy with a Monument trigger, and passes. Unfortunately for the table, during Sammy's upkeep, Descent into Avernus ticks up to lethal damage to both of them, and the game ends in a draw. Game review time. So this is a bit of a quicker one, and it was cool to see a Bracket 2 game in action. I will say that the card of the game was Descent into Avernus, mostly just because of the funny ending. Otherwise it felt like Mog and Nathan really got to showcase what they want to do. Unfortunately for Max and Arja, they didn't have a hugely impactful game. I think for Max, unfortunately Jin only triggered on that 1 attack with his 2 creatures, and for Arja the biggest play he had was probably that Dire Fleet Ravager, cutting everyone's life by a third. Otherwise, I think my favorite PlayStation Commander deck is probably still Aloy. It was super sweet to see Kuzno playing it, and I think she was the most interesting considering she's Simic and wasn't just built around draw and go.
This video wouldn't be possible without the help from my sponsors, but it definitely wouldn't be possible without the help from you, the viewers, and my patrons. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and to remember, friends are just opponents you haven't eliminated yet.